Hello everyone, my name is El Pernazo and in today's video I'm gonna show you a Yami replay against Invoked. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and share the channel with your people so we can grow. Also, remember that I will still be updating the best Yami masterclass with already over 5 hours of content that will eventually become 6, eventually become 7 and even 8 hours after all the updates. All just for $20, so give it a shot. And now let's begin. So here I think I'm winning the dice roll, yeah. So let me just see. Okay, so this is usually what is going to happen whenever you're trying to play the deck. Like, and that is why I also like to emphasize in the value of of sometimes your non-engine becoming actual engine, because it's going to happen that you will only have one way to play and then hand traps or board breakers, right? So having the chance of the Ash Blossom, for example, to become an Almirage, if this card were a jamming name, will give me two ways to push instead of just one, right? Also, obviously, with all the variables considered when it comes to Almirage, right? For example, here in the explanation of the masterclass. So, because of the specific hand, the only thing that I can do is just try to push with the Hornet drones, right? So here I'm going with the Kagari. Well, I'm just trying to straight go forward here. And here, well, I'm just getting exposed to everything. And in this case, the everything will be the Ash Blossom, right? So here I decide to still go for the Snatchy because I wanna make my deck that I wanna make my deck less heavy. And here I'm trying to project myself in what kind of field spell would I like, because like realistically the Akruki won't do anything at this point, in the sense that my Snatchy just having 600 attack is so exposable to everything that I don't see this Snatchy going away for anything but battle, even if the Akruki is not here on the field, right? So realistically what I will want at the end is for any other Yaminate that I could possibly draw to become two Yami monsters, right? And in order to do that, because my Snatch is already here, I will need to use I will need to put the Minion. Again, you can also even make the argument to just leave the Capsi because of the big defense, but because but in this specific scenario you don't have literally anything to play with, so having yourself a bigger shot to draw a Yami name is more important at this point in this specific scenario. So I'm just setting all my shit, and my opponent here is gonna try to play. Here also, I think we can find a very big lesson when it comes to consistency value in your deck, because technically my opponent here has 4 different ways to play, right? And already a target for one of the starters. However, the thing is that a lot of them are basically the same copy of other card, like straight up two Alistairs, and even though you can say that these two are different, this one will get you to the role of actually getting this one right here, right? Like you can do other of the effects, but I don't see the value specifically here, right? So technically they are also the same card. And unlike the consistency of, for example, Yami, when drawing two of the same copies will give you a still good value of trying to push a hand trap or something alike, here we are not going to have the same. And here is when we are going to see it, right? So here I'm thinking about sorry guys, I'm kind of sick. So here I'm thinking about if I should just straight up Ash the card, because the idea of this card is summoning this big one, right? And I was thinking maybe there is a chance that my Snatchy can stay on the field and that will be an advantage, but it was very unlikely for him to don't have any kind of normal summon, so that will not just be a way to keep playing the game, but a way to get rid of my Snatchy regardless, right? So at this point, I'm just thinking if I want to expose myself to him having already the A was in his hand, right? Which I'm not going to. Like I was thinking about it, but like I just had to expose myself, my Snatchy, right? Because I don't think my opponent is just going to straight up go to battle. So here what it's going to do is actually try to use the effect in the main phase, and I'm just ashing the shit out of him, right? Because even though he has the, regardless of what Alistair he may have in his hand, like the Invoker or the Reminiscent, he's going to get punished by not having both of them. So my Ash Blossom here, I think, is a very good exchange, because no matter what Alistair I'm avoiding, like, it's better for me. Just the manifestation of the name of the on the board is going to give a lot of other possible cards for the Alistair deck a big advantage, right? The invocation to have the target, the invocation sword, all that kind of shit. So the less names they have, the better. Even though I have cards to negate both of those names. So I think that was a good Ash Blossom there. Also, he's losing the body, so here the Alistair is obviously getting imperm. Even if he has an invocation already, because of the new cards, they having more invocations is kind of a problem. So here he's just going for the usual shit. Now I'm losing my Capsi anyway. I didn't know it was invoked, like, at the beginning, right? So it is what it is right here. And now he's going for yet another searcher that I'm just trying to prevent. Like, if he's going for this instead of any other ones at this specific point, I think that, like, I don't see how they will just have anything else. And even if they have anything else, I could still have the droplet. But at this point, I was just making the read that they don't have the reminiscent at this point. So I think it was worth it to avoid him having more invoke cards that he didn't use already. And at the end, you can see how this was a big payoff, because yes, he had more engine cards, but because those cards being the same copies as cards that he used already, they are basically bricks at this point, which wouldn't have been the same if the cards were actually Yami cards, as I explained here in the consistency. That there is a free section, and the card quality, and etc. So here he's just going to recover the Alistair. He's just going for some damage here. Yeah. And here he's going for the Forbidden Droplet. You can make the argument to go for the Mignon, but again, I'm breaking, and I need specifically a very good Yami name, because now the SP Little name will be also Disruption, right? So at this point, I think, yeah, I will go for the set one. Like, I mean, what could I possibly draw to to go against this SP Little Knight, right? I will need to draw, I think, specifically the Capsi Yami. So let's see. Yeah, yeah, this was crazy, right? I think amazing, and it's literally what I needed in order just to win the duel right here and right now. And now he's gonna get big punish for him not banishing the minion, right? Because even though the droplet could have prevent this Spillena to doing something very very troublesome, the fact that the minion would have been banished and the Snatchy already being in the graveyard, like, could have forced me to do weird shit in order to play, right? My only field spell available would have been the Akruki. Capsi is already banished, so I think that, yeah, it was very specific to draw the Capsi Yami, but big punishment nonetheless. So here I'm just going for my special summon, and here we are just going to summon 3 Yamis that right now, when you basically are summoning the Lollipop and reviving 2 with the minion on the field, you are basically winning the duel. Like, you're going to see, like, let's just go straight forward this. Like, this is also another cool synergy with the Fiansmith cards, because literally allows you to win the duel with 3 Yamis on the board. Because these 3 Yamis on the board most likely will leave your opponent in 1200 or less, which means that you can chain block, thanks to summoning the Little Knight, your Fiansmith Lacrima to do whatever damage is left to win. Because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle one other lightning monster from your graveyard into the extra deck, extra deck, inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. So very nice there. I think another cool synergy of how and another good example of how you can get rewarded by this deck. Now you can see weird shit here. Yeah, because here I'm testing a yummy budget actually that I wanted to share with you in some days. So this is why you can see this kind of weird shit. I'm gonna give a further explanation of this kind of choices in the specific video of the best yummy budget deck profile. So here my opponent is drawing kind of shits, but at least he has like more names, right? Four different kind of ways to play and a desires. So he's decided to start with the Crowley actually. I think this is maybe to try to play around the Fuwa. Like I'm not completely sure. Maybe some of you can let me know in the comments why he decided to go specifically with the Crowley instead of the Alistair. But who it is what it is here. Like he's going straight up for the Floodgate one. The one that, let me see, the relevant effect here is this one. While this card is in the extra monster zone, any monster sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. So it's basically a dimensional ground, or a dimensional feature just for me. Now he's going for the reminiscent, and here is when I obviously going to push because that quick spell is crazy. And now he's just going for desires. I like it's a completely safe desires. Not sure why he didn't use this before. Maybe he just want to save it for his next turn because he's exposing the monster. There's no way that this spell is adds the IWAS, right? So because he needs to special summon it for sure, when he used that spell, he decided just save it as a follow up. But also he gets kind of punished because his deck is heavier and maybe he could have had better draws if he done that before. Who knows, right? So here I'm drawing the talents, which is crazy. And well, the illusion gate is basically gonna get rid of these ones if he don't have specifically the ghost bell. Well, he has the ghost bell, yes, but at the same time it doesn't matter. Like this is just to seal basically the game because I'm trying to just get rid of whatever other hand trap he has. He don't have any, so I'm basically winning the duel right here. I'm just activating the Crookie. I'm using the Almirage because it's gonna get banished, so I'd rather get this banished than the Licoribo. At this point, if I don't win the duel, which I'm going to do, but if I like, just in hindsight, it's better to have the Licoribo after this. So here I'm just special summoning the Lollipop, and I'm straight up winning because the Crookie will pop the Floodgate one. This will get me to Yami names, and it's completely over, right? Now, I just want to share this with you because here I will have add the minion and guarantee the OTK, right? Like adding the minion with the uh, with the with the Capsi like that will having everything because I still have available the Lollipop Yami way that I show you by themselves is going to be the OTK. And if you enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your people. Remember that remember that I will still be updating the best Yami Masterclass, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.